And the one that I chose was one that's been tatted on my chest, bro, for a long time. And it's Isaiah 54:17. And my son was born on September 5th at 4:17.
That's crazy.
No, that's wild.
September 5th at 4:17, bro. God is real, and God was with us in that hospital, bro. And I feel like I can't even put into words how meaningful that experience has been to me. And like to know my son already has a testimony that's powerful, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The enemy tried to get him, bro, in the womb. And we prayed that verse over him, and God protected him and gave us the confirmation.
Blood just everywhere. She started hemorrhaging. So like, I've never seen that much blood in my life.
Yeah.
And it was like a scene like you mentioned, like 20 nurses running in the room, and you don't know what's happening for real.
You want some candy? We want cookies tonight. What we having? But that's not gonna be every night, right? Hey, Dad, can I have some? No, we had some yesterday, or we had some earlier, so now it's blah blah blah. No, we not having no more tonight, right?
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Triple F podcast, the Fly Father Fraternity. This is episode 6. I'm one of your hosts, Ty.
Marcus.
Dre.
Look at him. This is gonna be a good one already. I can tell, man. Let's jump into it a little bit. It's been a while. How y'all been? Dre, Marcus.
I'll start. I've been good. Same thing. Kind of just been working, been busy, long days, short nights. But other than that, can't complain.
I heard it.
I feel that.
What about you, Marcus?
I've been good, man. I've been real good.
Real good. Blessed and highly favored out here.
Extremely blessed and highly favored. I've been tired, but I ain't really complaining too much because all things considered, that ain't nothing for real. So.
Yeah.
I heard that.
You?
I've been solid. I can't complain. What I said last time, life is life in.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's what it is all the time.
Yeah.
But big congratulations to Marcus right here.
Appreciate it, man.
Son was born. Tell us what his name is. Tell the audience everything.
Okay, so my boy Wesley Miles Whiteside, you know.
Yeah,
West.
Yeah, he's
West Coast. Yeah.
Big West has made it, and he's doing good. He's doing good.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, born on September 5th.
September 1st, young Virgo gang. I don't know if we got a sign, but you feel me? I'm gonna throw that up like it's the Virgo gang. You feel me?
Yeah.
What have you learned? What's been new about this? I know this is obviously a newborn is a new phase.
Everything's been new. I mean, even experiencing the pregnancy with my wife, that was all new. That was all life changing for our relationship and from my perspective, and everything's been great, man. God is good. I feel like I got so much to say about it. I don't know where to begin, for real.
Yeah, well, first off, let me take a step back. I don't know how comfortable you are saying her name, but if you would like to share your wife's name, I want the audience to get...
Shout out to Karis. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
My rock, man. Shout out to Karis, for real.
I would like all of us to be able to say that. I noticed in other episodes we've been saying like
my
wife, kids. Yeah. I want y'all to know us. You feel me? Y'all need to know us a little bit.
Agreed.
But yeah.
I guess I would say maybe just start with the kind of how that process went, right? You did you have it planned? Did you know when you guys were going to go to the hospital? How kind of start from that point?
Yeah, bet. So we had an induction date because she was getting to the end of her pregnancy. She was at 40 weeks and her water hadn't broke. She wasn't dilated. So they were like, okay, when you get to 41, you got to come in and we'll schedule an induction. So we got to 41. We went to the hospital. It was a Monday night. And, we don't really know what to expect necessarily on how long it would take. We ended up being there till Saturday, from Monday night to Saturday. I know that's probably not typical.
Yeah.
We was real comfortable. We knew everybody in there. But it was. I would say it was a very unique experience. We had hella bags, because we talked to everybody, and they're like, bring this, bring that. So we had so much stuff. We was over prepared. And then how deep into it should I get? Like,
I would say whatever you're comfortable with.
So
yeah.
So if you're comfortable, you say you're there from Monday through Saturday. It's not typical.
I think as comfortable as you're willing to share, just because if we're honest, right, as fathers, someone's gonna take something from it as
For
far
sure.
as what your experience may have been.
For
they
sure.
they may come across it when it's time for them to have a child and
Right
be
on.
there for their,
I mean, yeah, even coming from that perspective, I just want to be clear. I know we have an understanding, but to be clear, I wasn't willing, or not willing, that's not the word. I didn't know the first time my daughter was being born. I didn't know about her until she was already born. So that's why I missed out on that entire process, because I didn't know until
Right.
after the fact. So going into this, it was already different because of that. And being involved in, my wife going through labor. It was a slow and tedious process, waiting for her to dilate and going kind of the medical route where they give her the drugs to induce her.
Yep.
Everything was going great, man, for real, for a long time. Like I said, we was there from Monday. He wasn't born until Saturday morning. The staff was great, and she was progressing slowly but well. She was healthy the entire time. And kind of to fast forward things to, I guess, the important part of it, she ended up by Friday starting to be dilated to the right amount to where it was time for the epidural. And they were still talking about a natural birth. And, everything was going according to plan as far as we considered. And then, things kind of changed on Friday. And our son was experiencing something called deceleration, where his heart rate was dropping. So if you guys know, but for anybody who's been there with their wife during labor, you can hear the baby's heart rate. There's a monitor for the baby and there's a monitor for mom, and you can hear the baby's heart rate. And there were certain times where his heart rate would drop drastically for moments.
Like
And,
that you would notice?
the
was it
nurses,
doctor? Okay.
the nurses noticed and brought it to our attention. So there was a couple of times when that was happening where it would drop. And, normal range is like, I don't know, around 140, 150, something like that. And it would drop all the way under 100 in a moment, like boom, 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 boom. That's how fast it usually is.
Yeah.
And then it would slow like crazy, just boom, boom. And we like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And so, the nurses were trying to troubleshoot it basically and trying to, like, they would try and, like, okay, have her lay on her side or
positions.
or
Check.
make
Try to
sure
get
she's
some blood flow
hydrated. Yeah,
there.
like, okay, maybe the umbilical cord is being laid on or something like that. Just trying to troubleshoot it. And then it got to a point where I'm breezing through it, but it was chaotic. It got to a point where it started to be a concern, right? So, we had a great day Friday. My family and her family was there because we knew we were getting close to the finish line. They were there, but then it got past visiting hours, and it was just the two of us. And she fell asleep, and I really couldn't sleep. It was probably like 11 o'clock at this point. And I say I dozed off maybe 5 minutes at the most and woke up to a whole bunch of nurses in our room and, like, moving her, put her on oxygen, just doing a whole bunch of shit. It was like a NASCAR, like a pit stop. All these people just flooded the room and just everybody's doing something, adjusting this, checking that. And we like, dang, because we didn't really have any cause for concern before that. But that's when the doctor came in and basically explained this deceleration thing to us and was telling us it was pretty severe, right? And we're like, all right, well, why do we think it's happening? And they didn't really tell us why they think it's happening at that time. So we were just, doing what humans do, Googling and guessing and trying our best to figure out how we can avoid that happening. So for the next couple hours, I just was wide awake, bro. Like, because I thought it was odd that it happened when she fell asleep, even though the doctor was like, it's not because she fell asleep, like nothing. But the timing of it just had me I want to control as much as I can control. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay awake. And if you start to fall asleep and I see it going down, I'm going to wake you up. I'm going to give you some water, whatever. Like, we're going to try and fix it as fast as possible, hopefully before the nurses even have to come in and think it's something wrong.
Yeah.
So for like 4 hours, bro, from like 11 to 3, I'm just sitting in the dark, bro, just staring at the monitor.
Yeah.
Staring at the monitor, my eyes burning. But I'm like, I can't go to sleep. Like, I can't go to sleep because I know basically what they hinting at is that this could be severe and it could eventually turn into the point where she won't deliver naturally.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I know how bad she wants to do that, and I know that there are times when complications come with C-sections and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm just trying to help her avoid that at all costs if possible.
Yeah.
And like I said, bro, I'm just locked in, just sitting in the dark, staring at the monitor. Anytime anything happened, bro, even if it didn't drop for real like that, it might drop 10. I'll go over there, hey, baby, hey, take some water, like, do whatever. And yeah, just on and off until about, I want to say like 3 a.m. It was one point I had to use a bathroom. I FaceTimed myself from her phone and put the phone up next to the monitor so I could keep my eye on the monitor because I'm like, bro, we can't, like, I just can't chance not looking at this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And throughout this time, we're just praying. And we're praying, bro. We're just, it's the closest I ever felt to my wife. We're just praying because they're talking about possible birth defects, possible C-section, possible this and that can come with if this thing keeps happening.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we're just trying to cover our baby, Lord, in Lord's name, and like we're quoting Bible verses that we know and really just meditating in the verses that we really, really want to ask God to fulfill for us. And man, it felt like a movie. I ain't gonna lie, like it didn't feel real, but we was just locked in, and it was an amazing experience. But yeah, at 3-something, deceleration again. And at this point, she had dilated to about 6.5, 7, which was the most progress she had. And we were like, man, we're getting close, you know, like we're getting real close.
Yeah.
But they ran in the room again, and this time they were just like, we can't keep delaying it, you know. And the decision was made for it to be a C-section, and it was hard in the moment because I just wanted to protect her because I knew she didn't want to do that, you know.
Yeah.
And so I kind of bumped heads with the doctor because I felt like the doctor came in and was way too routine about delivering the news, and I felt like it was disrespectful to my wife, and I felt like she wasn't considering how delivering this news feels to somebody, or how the right way to go about that. It just didn't feel like she took the proper time or care to kind of flip the switch. It just felt like, oh, I do this all the time. Like, let's go C-section. Like, you know? And I kind of bumped back, and I was just like, because I was talking also to my cousin, shout out to Cassandra. She's a OBGYN, and she's telling me, you know, they got to give you informed consent. They need to tell you what's the pros and cons and all the risks involved and this and that. And I'm echoing all that stuff to the doctor. And I'm like, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Like, chill out a second. Let me talk to my wife. Let's make sure we understand what's going on here and she's comfortable with this before you, like, they was coming in with the gowns already and like it was just done data.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bruh, like, just chill out. So they got out and we talked about it, and in that moment, I felt peace come over me because I felt that she was confident about doing it. And she just looked at me and she was just like, you know, we're going to do this and Wes is going to be here, you know, and we ain't going to have to wait and we ain't going to have to worry about what comes next. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's do it. You know, like once I saw that she was sure about it and confident, I was like, for sure. So they took us into the operating room, threw the booties, the hair net, all the extras on, the gown. And man, it felt like an eternity.
You sat right there next to her at the top?
At the end, yeah. It felt like an eternity, bro. They made me wait.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, bro, they're doing this without me. Like, I'm like, and everything's going through my head. I'm like, is it because I got into it with the doctor? I'm like, why am I? It felt like I was out there so long waiting. It was probably 40 minutes because they said they got to go in and get the room ready and this and that, and I couldn't go in until everything was ready. But Yeah, I finally get in there and she's laying down and they got the big sheet up.
Yep. So you by her face.
Yep. And she's got her oxygen masks on and I'm just trying to comfort her, you know? And she was having a hard time breathing. And one of the things I remember, they were playing music. They had like a playlist going in there.
Like music, like actual,
And one of the songs that played, literally as Wesley was being delivered, was a Taylor Swift song called Lover. And that's Anna's favorite song.
Oh, damn.
She'd been playing it all summer. She was here with us. She was playing it all summer. And I was getting so tired of that song. But that's how I knew it. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Like, this is Anna's song playing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you, God.
Just
like, that's a sign to me, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you, God. And that song's playing, and then my son's delivered, and they hold him up, and I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I get to cut the umbilical cord for the first time. Don't really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Don't enjoy that, for real. Unpopular opinion. It wasn't.
Why?
It just felt weird. I don't know. I didn't like it. It's like a moral victory. Like, okay, it's cool, I got to do it, but I didn't really enjoy it. I'm like, damn, I really gotta like.
It's not like an easy.
I didn't. It was whatever to me.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so my son was born at 4:17 in the morning, and it didn't hit me till later on, right? So, Karis and I reflecting on this after the fact. And I'm just like 4:17 is just in my head. Like, what is 4:17? What is 4:17? The Bible verse that I was praying, we both picked like our best Bible verse. And the one that I chose is one that's been tatted on my chest, bro, for a long time. And it's Isaiah 54:17. And my son was born on September 5th at 4:17.
That's crazy.
No, that's wild.
September 5th at 4:17, bro. 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. And when he was delivered, they told us the reason why he was having those decelerations is because the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck, double wrapped around his neck. And it was causing him to not be able to breathe. And, bro, no weapon formed against him shall prosper.
Man.
Clearly.
No weapon formed against him shall prosper, bro. And I just know with everything in me that God is real and God was with us in that hospital, bro. And I feel like I can't even put into words how meaningful that experience has been to me. And like to know my son already has a testimony that's powerful. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The enemy tried to get him, bro, in the womb. And we prayed that verse over him and God protected him and gave us the confirmation, no weapon formed against him shall prosper, bro. Like I get the chills. I can't believe it almost. Like September 5th at 4:17.
No,
54:17. And not only that, we also found out later, the first time that we met Anna in person and we went to go see her, the date that we went to see her was September 5th. The very first time I met my daughter and the very first time I met my son was September 5th.
That is insane.
Yeah.
It's even more crazy because it's not just one thing, right? It's multiple things. It's the Taylor Swift song. That's your daughter's favorite song. It's the scripture. It's like those things all coming together on the same day.
It's no accident. It's no coincidence, bro.
No such thing.
No such thing.
It's not even a coincidence or an accident that, you know, I don't want to say as easy as it sounds, but right, the C-section even happening and him being born at that time wasn't an accident, right? Because really, it could have went either or. He could have been earlier, or it could have been a scenario where it was like, we're just going to wait a little longer, right?
We're talking about 1 minute of precision. 1 minute, 4:17.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody can tell me God's not real, bro. Nobody can tell me my son is not here for a reason. And I love how it ties my son and my daughter together.
Yeah.
Because one of the most important things to me, preparing for this next step in our life, is being intentional about my son and my daughter's relationship, knowing that my daughter doesn't live with us full time. Mm-hmm. And I feel like God was just telling us, like, it's good, bro. Like,
it's going to work out.
It's
Works everything together for the greater good, man. Yeah, it's going to work out.
Yeah, I give all glory to God, man. I feel like I've never had an experience.
I was already crying.
I don't know how I made it through without crying about that, bro, because I've shed a lot of tears about this. It's just like the unreal, amazing power of God and the confirmation. Obviously, I know God is real. I feel like God was right here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You can't write stuff like that. You
Yeah.
can't think of it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I didn't know all that either. I'm glad. Well,
And that, I held on to that, bro. I held on to it.
Well, yeah. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
I do want to ask,
Real talk.
with all that being said, I want to move over to kind of wifey and how is she, and
She's doing
after
good.
everything, and how's she doing?
Yeah, she's
Good?
doing amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
C-section recovery takes
Yes, sir.
longer, and there's certain limitations on her. Like, they didn't even want her driving for a long time, and
At some point, like, and I don't mean to cut you off, but in that topic specifically, like, my wife couldn't. I think my first child, Mia, the older one, she was 9 pounds 8 ounces or something. They were like at the verge of like you can't even really pick her up,
oh dang,
like because you're only supposed to be really propped up in the bed. There's only a certain time before you can get up and actually start walking. They want you to walk and everything, but picking stuff up, they didn't even like. It was like on the verge of not even be able to do that.
Nah, I bet.
So
Yeah, recovery's been okay. It's been, I mean,
yeah,
she's been moving through it.
Okay.
She had some pain at first. The medication wasn't strong
Right.
enough. She was trying not to take the, the opioids. She was trying to stay with the Motrin, and she needed to bump that up a little bit. And there was a weird shortage all of a sudden.
Of course, of course.
So that was annoying for a couple of days,
Yeah.
but she thugged it out, man. She's been amazing. Just watching her transition has been amazing. Her selflessness and I can't say enough. Just she's been incredible.
Yeah.
For real. And I'm proud of her, and I feel like our love has never been stronger.
Yep.
Yeah, and I ain't trying to sound all cliche, I ain't trying to.
But
it's real, bro.
for sure.
I feel like we really went through some real stuff, and we depended on each other and God and nobody else in that moment, and we made it through, you know?
Yeah.
And
No, I feel like again, we talked about it. We kind of went through similar situation of, even for my wife, her water broke, but she wasn't in labor. So same situation. But I was just going to tell you way stronger than me, because we was in that room kind of going through the process of waiting to see how dilated she could be to have the baby.
Yeah.
It got to a point where they were like, bro, it's been 22 hours already, and we're at 6 or 7, right? And I'm like, oh, something not right.
bro,
right?
I
So
didn't know what day it was. And
yeah,
we
so
was just like, all right.
so they doctor comes in and is like, hey, this is what's going on. C-section, blah blah. I ran straight to the little family room. I start crying to my dad, because I don't know, right? It's my first child. Like, they talking about, only thing in my brain that they said C-section, that means she's getting cut open.
Right.
Like, in my mind, some crazy stuff was about to happen.
Yeah.
Dude, I just start crying because I don't know, you know what I mean? So I'm just more concerned for her safety. Like, man, it's not me, it's her. Like, I don't want anything to happen to her. I don't want anything to happen to my baby. Like, all these emotions start just flooding over you when it's that. And then, like you said, not to mention, I'm in the hallway with all the full get up on for 40 minutes just on my phone. Like, dude, I don't even know.
And you know what's crazy, bro? When I got in there, one of the nurses was like, "Oh, I almost forgot to let you come back."
See,
I was so hot.
No,
I was
not even funny.
Like, I was heated.
That's
bro.
not even a joke. Yeah.
And damn, I had something when you was just talking about the C-section part of it. When the doctor first delivers that news and is like expecting us to just make a decision right there on the spot, I'm like, first of all, my first thought goes to, my wife's on pain medicine.
So how's that gonna mix with whatever you got to do?
Well, and how's her decision making in this moment? Before you just try and throw something on her and make her answer on the spot. Let me have a moment with her and make sure what she wants to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like they could have done a better job with that, because, like you said, I'm an extension of her in that moment.
Right.
I'm here to protect her. I'm here to do whatever I can or whatever she can't that needs to be done. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's a lot of pressure.
Man.
It's a lot of pressure. But it was a great experience, all in all.
Yeah.
Great experience.
Well, baby Wes is here.
He's here.
Man, no weapon.
Time for life to start.
No weapon, man.
No weapon.
Young Wes. Hey, I think I brought it up before in a previous episode where I said, like, or maybe this was just talk between us, but I said like every man needs to experience a woman giving birth. Mm-hmm. It's real, bro.
No, it is.
Because you don't know
know
until you see it. And that experience alone is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a testimony to that. And yeah, I don't even want to share my experience. I'm gonna start crying for us. So like we can move on for real.
Look, come on, this is what it's for.
Yeah. So when Alea was born, I mean the whole pregnancy, everything was fine. The birth we thought was fine, you know, until it wasn't. So they move us into the next room already. We're chilling, and then Janae's like, "Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom," and as soon as she gets up, blood just everywhere. She started hemorrhaging. So like, I've never seen that much blood in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look, I'm already crying. And it was like a scene like you mentioned, like 20 nurses running in the room, and you don't know what's happening for real. Like if you see that, you see all these nurses running in, we're only humans.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's going on, and in that moment, like I can see on Janae, like she's like doesn't know what's happening, and they sit her down, and everybody's flying in, and she just like pray. So I start praying out loud. Immediately just start praying out loud, and I've never felt God so much in that moment either until that time. I got done praying, and Janae, like I don't even know how to explain it, but I seen a calmness go over her, and she was calm as ever. Like the doctor's asking her a whole bunch of questions. Like I'm holding Alea in my arms, and I'm just like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just want some water." Like as calm as ever, but just seconds before that, it was nothing like it's full panic. It was one of the craziest things that I've ever like. I can't even put it into words, but I'm grateful that we were at the hospital. Before she was born, I've said this to Janae, like just joking, like, man, we can have a water birth. I would never even say that. Like, cause who knows what could have happened if we weren't at that hospital where people can help her. And I didn't tell you that before, cause like Karis was pregnant. I'm not trying to scare nobody or nothing, but it was the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life, because like I said, I've never seen that much blood, and just recognizing like what our partners go through to bring life into this world for us, man. Man,
yeah,
I'm grateful. Every man needs to experience that, man. Not necessarily our situation, but just their partners or their child being born. You need to experience that to really understand, because you won't know from people just telling you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whew, man.
But same, I want to present the same question though. She's here now, but how is wifey doing? How's Janae doing?
Janae's doing good. She. In the beginning it was hard because she was, when stuff like that happened, you don't know if you're okay for real. Like she needed a blood transfusion.
Something else might happen, right?
Yeah, like you just never know what can happen, and she had to be really cautious in the beginning, and she felt like she wasn't connecting with Alea as fast as she wanted to, because she didn't want her to lay on her. She did, you just don't know. So the beginning was kind of tough, but now everything is great,
Praise God, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Praise God.
Praise God for real. For real.
Yeah.
He is real.
Seriously.
Let me move on, man, before we get I don't want to get too light yet.
I want to add one thing too, because I don't know if you've experienced this, or I would assume that more women than just my wife have felt this way, right? But at first, thinking about the C-section, she felt like disappointment.
The answer is yes. Yeah.
Disappointment to not be able to deliver him naturally. And I just want to say, that don't mean nothing to me. And I don't think any woman should look down on themselves
At
for
all.
anything like that, because the courage in her eyes to make that decision for the betterment of her son, who she hasn't met yet, the selflessness, the sacrifice, surpasses anything,
All of it.
any type
All
of
that.
judgment she could put on herself.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to say that not only to her, but to any other
All
woman
of
who's
them.
questioned that or felt that insecurity or
Yep.
anything about that. That's not real. You did your job. You're amazing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It comes to it's to add on to that, right? It's the moms out there of newborns and stuff like that even have that disappointment when, like, with breastfeeding, something that's, I don't want to say as simple as that, but on a lower
On a different
scale, of a C-section, right? That's a woman's thing to connect with their baby, is like, I want to do these things, right? And I say I know exactly what you're talking about, because that was for my wife. Same thing, right? She had a C-section, so that was that portion. Then we get to the breastfeeding, and because my baby was so big, she was eating so much that my wife couldn't keep up. So, right, it got to a point where I had to have a conversation with my wife, like, it's okay. Like, you're not doing anything wrong. Like, it's okay. Like, we have a healthy baby. This is what's coming out of it. And, kind of just, put it into perspective for that for her, to let her know, like, it's cool. Like, look, this, let's look at the good side of it and what can come out of it. But again, the disappointment they feel sometimes from those things as a woman, you see it on them, and they say it sometimes, and sometimes they just feel it. And, that's our job to be there and do our part, right, as the other half, to say, look, like, you don't need to feel no disappointment. Like, you did greater than any disappointment.
Man, because
So
I just look at her and I'm just like, you really just did that.
Yeah.
You just put the team on your back.
Yeah,
I couldn't have done
for real.
anything about this if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Other than support you in doing this, and you just said, I'm gonna do it. Like,
Yep.
they gotta know how meaningful that is.
Yeah.
Nothing can top that, for real.
At all. Yeah. Oh man. Man,
Chills whooping you.
It's I love that we're talking about this, bro, because I feel like you don't. I mean, you can hear it, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
but I feel like other people need to hear it if they haven't
Absolutely.
before.
Yeah.
Or they're thinking, or they may have gone through it, but they don't hear anyone else talking about it, right? So they may hear us talking about, like, man, I went through the same thing. At least they can feel better, at some point, to say, it's not just me. Because let's be honest, that is what you think at some point, right? As a mom, as a dad, whatever.
Why me? Why we gotta go through this?
exactly.
Yeah.
So again, somebody might hear this and say, man, I can feel, a little bit less heavy about myself to know that I'm not the only one going through it.
Yeah.
Because even mentally, even if you knew that it wasn't just you, right? You can assume, but when you hear someone say it's a whole different, you're like, it's kind of nice to hear.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. I don't want to move on past. I don't want to keep this going into like a sad thing. So skip the next topic. We're gonna get straight into Dre.
Yeah.
You got 2 daughters. Which we all got daughters now. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you asked for a little bit of advice.
Yeah.
About your daughters wearing shoes with heels and whatnot. Let me hear what you got. What you need, man.
So really, I just need y'all assistance and opinions on if I'm just going too hard or not.
Right.
So my mother-in-law is she's a woman's, right? She wears heels, she wears dresses, she dresses up as the part, right? And not that she tries to imprint that on them, but they're girls, so right, their thing is, little girls, and she buys them these little sandals that got a little, it might have a little 1-inch heel on it or something. So she's done it one other time before for Mia, the older one, and I kind of was like, nah, cool, whatever. Well, this last go around, she buys a pair for both of them, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if there was any difference in the height, but I opened the box and I immediately closed it and said, absolutely not going to happen. They're not wearing them outside. They're not wearing them around the house, right?
You said this in front of her?
Well, she wasn't here at the time they got delivered, but she was on FaceTime, and I told her, and then I told all the other women in my house, right? Because that was the thing, was fine if you don't want to let them wear them. What about in the house as just like they wear their princess dresses and stuff? So what about then? I said no. My outlook on it is just I don't what.
Go ahead.
I just don't. I'm not comfortable with the fact that they're only 6 and 3. I just don't. Right. I want them to grow up and understand that they are girls and women will grow to be women. And you wearing heels is part of, your journey as a woman, if that's what you choose to do. But it's just 6 and 3 is too young for me to even practice that. And imprint that on you to say, yeah, this is what you could wear. Because I feel like, okay, maybe it's a 1 or 2 inch heel at 6, but what about when you're 8 and you're with your mom shopping at the mall? You might see a little bit of a bigger heel. I don't know, and that's hypothetical, right? But I just envision that in my mind that I'm like, absolutely no type of heel. It got to be a flat. It got to be a something, but just not that. So I don't know. Am I going too hard, or do you guys think that that's just not realistic? Well, what do you guys' thoughts?
Before I give you my advice, let me ask you one question. How does your wife feel about those heels?
She didn't get a chance to say, huh? You opened the box and flipped.
She didn't. I'm gonna be quite honest. And she didn't get a chance to say because I flipped already. But I think, and again, we kind of have went over this through a couple episodes. Just the way I run my household. She knows, right? As a married couple, we know what each other's things are. Of like, I'm not even gonna get to that point because my wife ain't gonna go for it, or I'm not gonna get to that point because my husband's not gonna go for it. So even like when we go to Walmart or Target and the girls see the sets that come with the princess dress with the little tiara and the little heels, we just walk right past those. I'll let you get the dress, or I'll let you get this, but we're not gonna get the whole right. And I don't know. That's just me. I just
okay. So what I'll say is, now that I have a daughter, I feel like I can get in on this conversation.
Oh Lord!
What I'll say,
want to jump in now?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Gang.
Yeah.
But what I will say is I asked what your wife thought about it, because I feel like I'm going to be operating under the guidance of like, my wife is a woman. I let her do woman things with our girl, and as long as it's not too far, like if my kids understand what that is and they're crossing the line, that's different. But if it's regarding clothes, I know Janae, she's not going to. She's conservative, so like she's not gonna do nothing too crazy to where I feel like, oh, this is out of pocket. Now I did joke with her the other day, like, Alea, she's 2 months, but she had a little outfit and her back was out. I said, hold on,
no,
she's showing a lot of skin. But you know what I mean? She's a baby. She like it's just it's not that deep for me yet. I'll say that. As long as they don't understand it's not that deep to me yet.
It's that deep for me.
I'll say for me, maybe it's because potentially, I can't say for sure.
Yeah.
It could be because I haven't had that experience specifically with heels, but I don't think I view heels in the same light that I view makeup or some other things. I don't personally associate heels with being grown. Personally, because when I think about it, I feel like it's only certain occasions, first of all, that a little girl would ever be wearing, like, she's not gonna play outside in heels, she's not gonna go to school in heels, right? I don't know if she ever went to some kind of a dance or whatever. I guess that's when it would really happen, maybe. I don't know.
Wait, that she would wear them?
That heels would even be a part of the ensemble, right? Like, it's not an everyday outfit that you put on heels.
Like a dad-daughter dance.
Right.
Yes. No, I'm saying, and I agree with that, because we did do a little dad-daughter dance. Mila, the small one, she didn't wear heels, but the older one, she had a little sandal heel type thing, and she was wearing a dress, and I did let her wear them then. So I guess I would say on occasions, I do agree with that I would let them wear them. I just,
And I ain't, that's just me. Yeah. I'm not saying you going too hard or whatever, but just the way I perceive it, the reason I would have a problem with makeup, for example, or a certain amount of makeup at whatever age she's at is because I feel like she would be maybe looking older than she should, or appearing to older men that she, you know, like there's a concern attached to it. It's not just because like, oh, your mom wear those, you shouldn't wear those. Like you too young to wear. But it's actually like you could be giving people the wrong idea.
Yeah. I'm pretty much, just so y'all know, I'm pretty much across the board. It's the same for me. Like I just started doing the little play makeup. Like they might have a little like kid chapstick lip gloss type thing, or you know they might have the little fake. You know, you put a little bit on your cheeks. Like I just started doing that, but it's like I'm very picky, choosy. Like the clothes, not even a chance, buddy. Like I'm talking about, they want to buy bathing suits and stuff for the summer. I'm like long sleeve, the little one piece, maybe even them little things that the surfers be wearing.
The bodysuit.
Look, it's just, but I think in my mind that's where Mark kind of said it for me, which is that's where I'm coming from. Of like, I just can't have it. I don't want you. I'm not gonna say can't have it. I just don't want you outside in public with those types of things on, and not because I'm worried of what someone would do, because no one's gonna beat me up. So, but just the fact that I don't know what other people envision outside in the world. Right? We could be at the pool playing that. I just don't want people looking at you like that. Yeah. So, or even just getting a thought of looking at you like that. So
I feel like it's a balance of like what we can control versus what we can't, right? So I mean, regardless, there's gonna be weird men, weird people out there in general, and we have to be mindful of that. So wherever the threshold for you is as a dad, I can respect that regardless. Like, but I think it's also important that whatever we're teaching them is like, be careful with this, because that it needs to be how they can be protected, how they can be alert of their surroundings, how they, you know what I mean? Because it's not their fault.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they should know that it's not their fault.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I just thought about something. I think on a deeper level, you know what I think it might be? I think it might be the fact that everyone knows that I'm that way, and they try to go against that.
So you feel
like my mother-in-law, she's not doing anything wrong. She knows I don't like it, but she'll send it to the house anyway. She's like, oh, okay, I understand. The next thing you know, I hear an Amazon delivery at the door, and I'm like, and this goes both ways, right? Like, as much as she knows that about me, I know that about her, and that's just our relationship. And you know, it's all fun and games. It's just maybe that's deeper what it is of me being like, absolutely not.
I really gotta put my foot down.
Yeah, exactly. So let me end it by saying, you think I'm going too hard? Should I just go ahead and let them wear them? What you think?
I think if it's around the house, it ain't a problem for real.
Mark?
I agree. And special occasions where it would actually call for that, not just, you know.
All right.
I think it's harmless.
See? Your uncles helped you out.
Hey, but this topic is good, though, because it flows into our next one. I saw a clip on maybe it was Instagram or TikTok where Charleston White was saying that the dad got to be the villain in the house because somebody got to establish law and order, and usually that's gonna be the dad in the house, that figure, if they're around. You know, your deadbeats suck, by the way.
Especially in a co-parenting situation. Especially in a co-parenting situation, you got to be the bad guy. You got to be okay with it. I didn't mean to steal the whole.
No.
But that spoke to me.
I'm okay with it.
Spoke to me.
I'm with you. I'm okay with it.
It's different if I have you here every day and I can observe everything you're doing. Not just, you know, I have a good level of communication with my daughter, whether she's with me or not. But it's not the same still as if she was with me every day.
Yeah.
And due to that, I have to over communicate at times what's being expected of her and how she should be carrying herself, because I think I've said this before, I can't just trust that somebody else is being as direct about it and as thorough about it as needs to be. And, you know, my she's spoiled, which is a good and a bad thing. You know, she doesn't want for anything. She has a lot of people that love her, which is great. But on the other side of that, she's grown to expect to get whatever she wants, sometimes whenever she wants, and to complain if she doesn't. You know what I mean? And that's when discipline comes into play. Because that's not the real world.
Right.
Whether you grow up like that or not, that's not the real world, and that's not what you should expect life to be like. You got to work hard for things. You have to take care of things that are of value. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that comes with having a lot. And you don't want kids to grow up and not be grateful and to take things for granted because they're just used to having.
Yep.
So I constantly find myself having to be the villain that reels things in and gives her another perspective and gets her to understand that not everyone's as fortunate as you, and some of the things you're complaining about, I ain't trying to hear it, you know, because you're blessed and you have more than you need. And as much as I want to be fun and everything else, I do have to be the bad guy a lot of times.
And I know you said especially co-parenting. I'll speak for my household. It worked the same. Like, I think if it was left up to Janae, the kids would just have as much fun, do whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like that motherly instinct. They just love the kids, want them to have a great time all the time. I'd just be like, you know what? Nah. Come sit down, dog. Go to timeout, man. Somebody got to tell you this ain't how it go. Like, you can't get your way all the time, like you said. I actually saw it was another woman, like, she had a podcast and she was talking about how she would just give to her daughter, and she learned throughout the years that, like, oh no, I messed up. I have to correct this because you start expecting instead of earning. You know what I mean? So what do y'all think about that though? The dads being the villain.
Outlook, right? I think that's a good analogy, is that dad's the villain, just because that is what it comes down to, right? I mean, let's be honest, there's going to be quite enough times in our life and in our kids' lives where they're going to go to mom and tell mom. They're not going to come to dad and tell dad, or they're going to do I'm going to go ask mom first. And then if I need to, I'm going to go ask dad. We know, right? We did it when we were kids, if we were able to, or if, right now, it's going to be the case, and my kids already do that, right? Both of my kids are in the household, and they're going to make sure they ask mom, can I get you know, or they do the other thing where they think, well, I'm going to go ask mom because she's not going to ask, you know, dad, but then they're going to do well, go ask your dad. Okay, well, you come to me, you might not get the answer you want, and that's the villain, right? I'm not going to always, we all can speak on it. Yes, sometimes am I not the villain? Absolutely. Come ask dad. Yeah, all right, let's go. You want some candy? We want cookies tonight? What we having? But that's not going to be every night, right? Hey, dad, can I have some? No, we had some yesterday. Or we had some earlier, so now it's blah, blah, blah. No, we're not having no more tonight, right? Yeah. When in other cases, and anyone else, it's a yes, or it's a, okay, let's have this instead of this. No, there is no options. Yeah. What I'm saying
options. Woo. Everything can't have options.
Everything's not an option, right? That's just what it is. And if I have to be the person that enforces that, then let it be.
Yeah. And I want to add from the co-parent perspective that the reason I say it's more difficult in the co-parenting thing is because my daughter knows that, okay, if dad's the villain, right? Dad's the mean one. I don't have to ask dad. I don't have to.
Because I'm not at dad's house.
And even if I do ask dad and I don't get the result I'm looking for, oh, dad's calling me, I don't want to talk to dad today. Now she damn near has leverage to hold it against me. You know what I mean? So I have to walk the tightrope of, like, I know how important this discipline thing is, and I'm not backing down from enforcing it, but I have to be mindful of how she responds to it, because it's a fine line.
Yeah, it's a unique situation.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You have to handle it accordingly.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. Let me backtrack too, because I did say if it was up to Janae, she would. But I'll say this: when it comes to like Cade, he don't know what a cookie, a cake. He don't know what none of that is. It ain't because of me. Janae like, no, you can have this broccoli. We got, we got bell peppers. Like,
Cade a whole vegetarian, ain't he?
Yeah, bro. That kind of make me sad. Bro, just be eating vegetables and fruit all the time.
He missing out.
It's a good thing though, but you know, I think when he go to school, he gonna be tripping. He gonna be finding a way to get some Oreos or something. But yeah, I just want to backtrack with that. Sometimes she is the villain when it comes to the food thing.
For sure.
on that subject of being a villain, it's a little a switch. I feel like sometimes baby mamas could be villains. Now let me say this. That was a kind of crazy thing to say, but Dre, you sent us a video
Yep.
of a baby mama talking to the dad saying, "You can't change our daughter's diaper because you're a man." Now, I think she's the ultimate villain for that. How you gonna lay in bed
Villain
with
isn't the word I was gonna use. I'm gonna just be 100 with you, villain. No.
Yeah, well,
Just because that's not even. Man, that's so outlandish to even tell, and I'm gonna keep it just at that, right? That's outlandish to tell your baby daddy, your husband, whatever it is, right? That's crazy to tell them that. Now let's take it to the other step, and you could speak to this, which is we don't even live in the same household. So when I got my daughter at my house, what do you expect is gonna happen? I'm fulfilling my duties to my child as a parent, in which I need to change their diaper, number one, for sanitary reasons, and number two, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah. That for you to even fix your mouth to tell me that I'm not changing my daughter's diaper. And then in the video, she said, well, why are you even so concerned? Whatever she said. Why is it such a big deal to you to change your daughter's diapers? Oh, I would have lost it. I'd have lost it.
I got a couple things to say.
I went to the courthouse right then and there. No, we in the car already. Just go ahead and drive there.
I feel like, first of all, I don't know if I have enough context from the video to be fully on one side or the other. But given what you said, I do agree. If the man has never shown any signs of being weird or nothing like that, and if he has shown those signs, why did you have a baby by this man?
And let me preface by saying, I think the background on the video also came from other videos. It had been a topic going around, and I feel like people, maybe baby mamas in those situations, were just leaning into it a little bit, as in like maybe it just hit something, a nerve or something in them to say, yeah, I don't want a man changing because that's what it comes down to, is I don't want a man changing my daughter's diaper.
Yeah, and you...
Because she said that in the video, by the way. She said, I don't want I don't want my uncles I don't want all the men in their lives. She's like, I don't want none of them.
The father is not just a man.
Correct.
Right. So you chose him to be the father. And if you feel that strongly about that, maybe you shouldn't have.
Correct.
You know? And also, damn, I lost my train of thought. I feel like that's a conversation that should have been had way before. Why are y'all just talking about this now?
That's what made me think that she didn't have a necessary reason. Like what you said, it wasn't that maybe a situation.
I feel like somebody planted that seed.
Yeah, because then my thing is, right, and I get it, we're in a social media era, but why are you recording this conversation? If that's how strongly you feel, where you're now at the point where you kind of raising your voice at him to say, why is it such a big deal to you to change your daughter's diapers? That's a conversation that we should have either been had. You could have, right? I didn't know how old their daughter was, but let's just say your daughter's 1 year old. A whole year went by already. Yeah. Why are we just not having a conversation? Yeah. And why are you trying to record it? Like what? Or whoever recorded it? I don't know.
To what you were saying though, bro, like you don't know if you got enough context to be on one side or the other. I'm fully on this man's side.
I'm on. Yeah.
I don't care what because. Even if she's talking to him, it's like, if that's the case, why are you even letting him see your child if you're that concerned?
I agree with that. I'm just saying there's an exception, in my opinion. Like, if he has some kind of tendency that actually makes her worry about the safety of the kid, that's what I'm saying.
But that conversation wouldn't be happening. That small bit of a conversation would not be happening from those things. Now the conversation is, I'm not even letting her at your house then, right? That's
what I'm saying.
We're beyond changing the diaper at that point if that's how you feel. Right, I'm not going to come to you and say, I don't want you to change my daughter's diapers, but this is why, because something might have happened or I was concerned. Okay, well, then they're no longer going to your house, because I would do the opposite. If I had a concern about my baby mama, now we're having a whole different conversation of how I can get them not to go to your house no more. I mean, the diaper thing? Come on now.
That's what made me on one side, like,
I feel it.
A diaper, bruh?
I feel it.
Let's take our situation, for example. All of ours, really. And let me speak for myself. My wife had a C-section. There were things that she could not do, right? Like she couldn't just get up and freely just jump out of the bed and go do. I had to get the baby and change the baby's diapers.
Right.
You thought if you told me you didn't want me to change your diapers, I was gonna be like, all right then. I'll leave the baby for you when you get to it.
Nah, but I don't think that's apples to apples. Your wife ain't concerned about you. And all I'm saying is if she had reason to be concerned or if she didn't know him well enough to put those concerns at ease, I could understand having a concern about your daughter. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm even more mad now that if you had a concern for the child's safety, that you're talking to me about some damn diapers.
Yeah, like.
But it ain't the diaper, it's about the child's private parts while you're changing the diaper.
Yeah, but
no, but I'm saying we're past that though. Like the concern of safety is past the private, a man touching the private parts of the daughter. It's the safety of the child now, point blank period of
Sure.
I no longer just want you around my child.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. I just being mindful of not knowing all the information. I'm just saying.
Let me find that.
and we can play the video too because I want the listeners to have context.
She, if something has happened to her, or I can understand your concern, but what I don't understand is the diaper part. Because like, bruh, if the baby dad had ill intent, the diaper thing ain't gonna change that.
Correct.
Like, you know what I mean? So like, it was just crazy to me to even have that convo.
And did they say for sure that we knew for sure this was a baby mom, baby dad? They didn't live together. They weren't together. Because I didn't quite take that from that. I thought they were together, and she was telling them that. I could be wrong though.
No, you could be right.
You could be right. I will say from that perspective on gathering information from the video, that part you really couldn't even tell because the phone was like, it wasn't pointed at anyone, and the conversation kind of started at, I don't want you changing. It kind of started at that point. It really wasn't any more background information.
Well, so does it change to you if it's two people in a relationship? And not you're not here to do this anyway.
No
kind of situation.
No, because not even in my own household, you're gonna tell me that I can't change my daughter's
to me, it's
diaper.
just all weird.
Not you. I ain't talking about you. Not Dre.
Just somebody.
Said individual with whom we have no.
No, I don't think they should be telling
about.
their husband that if they're in the same household.
Yeah, like at that point, it's just you being weird. Like,
I actually have a problem with you now.
Child.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it just. If you have that concern about the father of the child, you probably shouldn't have been in the bed.
Yeah, I agree with that part.
Yeah,
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
But shoot, there's another topic on here that revolves around children, and people will feel weird about it. At what age do you stop kissing your kids?
On the lips?
I was just gonna say preface by on the lips or.
I'll say anywhere. I feel like
the lips is where there's an age limit. I don't feel like you have to stop kissing your kid on the head, on the cheek, or something.
Yeah, not
on the lips gets weird at a certain age.
Not necessarily have to stop kissing them on the head or anything, but even to me, like, I don't know, if my dad tried to kiss my head right now, I'd be like, hey, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I guess there's certain situations where it can't happen.
Well, first of all, your dad's not consistently doing that to you, so of course you'd be like, hey, bro, what the?
Yeah, I bet. Okay, can you picture yourself 10 years from now giving your son a kiss on his head?
Yeah.
Good job, son.
Yeah.
You
feel me? I think it's the relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
See, and I had to,
because that don't seem weird to me.
No, me either. That's what I was gonna say. I'm trying to think of a age limit that it would stop. But like my daughters, they'll just come up to me and grab my face and just like, oh, I love you, and give me a kiss. And it's like to them, it's just harmless, and to me, I'm like, oh man, hey. I get all soft inside. I get all soft inside. But yeah, so I don't know what.
So you're close to your dad.
Yeah.
If he kissed you on the head right now, how would you feel?
Hey, bro. But what I'm saying is, I feel like that's slightly different because it's not consistently happening. So it's more so, what you doing? It's like, why? Like, why today did you choose? Like, are you okay? Is something wrong? Like, that's what it would be more so for me if my dad did that. But
okay, well, let's go kiss on the lips. I know I seen a video of Tom Brady doing that with his son. I know his son. I think he has a disability, but.
And how he was like a little bit older, right?
He was like 12 or 13 or something like that. And people was like, "Hey, come on, man, it's still weird," which I agree with. I don't. It's weird.
I feel like
no teenager on the lips.
Yeah,
man.
I feel like a kid. What age is a toddler stop at?
Oh,
4, 3, 4. I think that's toddler.
Okay.
Depending on how big your kids is.
Slightly around the toddler stage, I feel personally it gets a little weird kissing.
Toddler stage?
Shortly around that and a little bit after.
My daughter's 6.
Hey, to me, 6 might be the cutoff.
You're right. I mean, by 7, I could be like, hey, like, yeah, I mean, you're right. And I think it's because I don't, like, when she does it, it's just so harmless that it's not like,
Yeah.
in my mind, I don't even think about it or
And
question it to say,
I feel
hey,
you.
we can't do that anymore because it just happens. And
I'm capping. My daughter just turned 7. I'm capping. I ain't, it's rare, but it happens.
Right.
But when she does it, I do think like you getting kind of big for that. I don't say it, but I think it, you know.
Yeah.
So I know it's getting close to where like, okay, maybe we don't do that no more.
So I guess the consensus is well before middle school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I can
can-
see that. I can see that.
I can recall being in like 4th grade. My mom gave me a hug. I'm like, hey man,
Not a hug.
give me a dap, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that's a crazy topic for people, like kissing their kids on the mouth.
Based on that, it's probably like when you start, as the kids, start being attracted to the other sex, right? So now you want to look a certain way in front of girls. You can't be hugging your mom and kissing your mom.
And I also think it's different for
That's my guess.
I think it's also different for a boy and his mom versus a girl and her dad. Not on the kissing thing. I'm just saying in the thought of when it stops, right? Because like you said, as you're like, Mom, get off, you embarrassing me, you know what I mean, or whatever it is. But for a man and his daughter, it's like I said, you just get all mushy inside. So it's like, come on, bring it in.
I feel that.
Yeah, I can't think of an age where I'll stop kissing my kids on their head or on their face or whatever. Just affection.
Yeah.
But I feel like lips it got to age.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
You too?
Huh?
You too?
Yeah. And I feel like actually, without even thinking about it, I have like more so been giving my cheek to my daughter like a little bit more. Now that I think about it, like I'll be at the counter working or something, and she'll come tell me, "All right, good night," and I'll just kind of like lean down and give her my cheek. Not intentionally, I just don't without thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna stop kissing my kids either. Y'all came from me.
Yeah, why not? Why?
You feel me? It's harmless.
Yeah.
I just love you, kids.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know what? It's been another great episode, y'all.
Man.
Hey, do we want to make an announcement about something?
Yeah, we got a special guest coming. Episode 7. I can't tell y'all who it is yet, but we got one coming.
Yeah, first guest, debut guest.
And
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and we got something else coming.
What?
What else we got coming out?
I don't know. You tell me.
We got the merch coming out.
That good
See,
merch.
look,
We got
Some of
the
that good
merch
merch.
coming
You
out.
jumped the gun, dog. You jumped the gun. That was part of my closing,
my
but
bad.
you jumped the gun. But I knew that's what you was hitting at. I should just roll with it.
Yeah,
you feel me?
see?
My bad. But yeah, we got merch, man. Go to flyfatherfraternity.com, man. You can get some hoodies, some shirts, some keychains, some wristbands. What else we got? I think that's all we got.
Yeah,
That's what we got. But we got different shirts.
Hey,
different
it's real
hoodies.
fly though. We
Yeah,
gonna have
hey,
it right here on the
yep.
screen.
Yeah, right about here.
You feel me?
Right about here.
Yep.
Right there on the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
Editor, do your job. You feel me? But yeah, man, it's been another great episode. It's Triple F Podcast. We out.